Finally, I haven't seen her in so long. We're about to take out the headliner for the Rolls Royce Starry Night on the S14. So most of the time you just need flathead, whatchamacallit, the seat belt is like a 15mm socket. That way you can loosen up the trim. And yeah, let's get this started. Right now, I'm just going to take everything apart. So you just have the foldable, I don't even know what they're called, sun visors? Yeah, sun visors. Just Phillips screws. You can pop this trim out for the sunroof if you have a sunroof, with just a Phillips, or not a Phillips, a flathead, my bad. And you just pop that out. Same thing goes for the light up here. I would be very careful with all these trim pieces right here, because as you can see, these are like little rivets, sort of, kind of. And the plastic rivets are connected to the trim, and these cars are really old, and they get really old and brittle and fragile. So I suggest, you know, taking it easy. Don't try to rip up your interior, because if not, you're gonna end up looking everywhere for pieces and shit. Alright guys, so the only hard part was, honestly, I don't know if it's just on mine, this rearview mirror. It wasn't hard, but it was just like, you have to really get a screwdriver, a flathead, and really pry it out. And also, I originally thought that the dome light was a, how do you say, you just pop it off kind of like this one on the sunroof. But inside you have to open up the plastic, and then you'll see two Phillips screws, so you have to get those two out, and then you'll be able to pop it off. Unfortunately, I broke one of my trim pieces. Like I said, they're very fragile and stuff. Now we took off the trim piece right here, and it should be fairly almost good to go. We just have to take off these two plastic hinges, and then pop out a little bit more of this trim piece over here and over there. That way we can pop the sunroof off. And yeah, so we're about at least 70 to 80% done, and hopefully I can finish this within the next 10-15 minutes. Overall, probably took me about 15 minutes to do. It's just like a lot of trim pieces. Make sure you keep track of where all your trim pieces are at. I just put mine right here with all my screws right there and then right there. So let's finish this off, and then that way hopefully we can get this thing dyed and prepped for today, and then we'll hopefully start it tomorrow. So I'm assuming there's gonna be 4 clips. Should be like one right here, one right here, one right here, and one right here. Carefully, you're gonna really carefully pop these out. Just gonna grab the edge of the trim piece and slowly bend it a little bit. You don't want to bend it too much, because if not, your trim's gonna get messed up. There's 3 and 4, and it looks like it's pretty much out.
Father, our Father of hip hop music.
Car's back up on the lift. Now we got the headliner out, but it's fairly dirty. I'm debating on cleaning it. If not, I'm not really too worried about it. I probably might try like that little piece right there, try to clean it up. If it doesn't work out, we're just gonna dye it. It's gonna be black anyway. You won't even be really able to tell, especially like when you're in the car. Regardless, it's pretty dark for the most part. So let's take this thing home, put it in the Honda, and that way I can close the shop. So I got all the pieces and all this stuff for the headliner. So I copped some stuff from O'Reilly's. It wasn't like too crazy, too expensive. So I got some vinyl fabric and a matte finish, 2 cans of that. And then I went to Walmart to pick up a hot glue gun and a couple extra glue sticks and shit. And have the headliner here. I'm about to throw a bag underneath because I don't want to fuck up this glass on this table. And then get ready to spray it. Hopefully everything goes good. We get to put the starlights in after this is done and then put it in the car and be all set to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do light coats. Once it starts getting pretty dark, start getting closer and probably do a little bit heavier coats, that way it stays black. Trying to keep it as even as possible to where you don't want some spots where you can kind of see it like grayish black, and then let them dry for like 5-10 minutes a piece. And then, yeah. So good right now. So this is what it looks like, all painted black, and it came out great. I didn't think the can was gonna work out that good, but this thing came out sick. So now we have the fiber optics, and we're gonna spin this thing around, put some holes in it, and start getting this thing going. So what I'm thinking is that these fiber optics are pretty long enough, so I'm going to run them as long as it can reach to about right there. I have a decent amount to this thing's all raveled. It's like a snake. Whatever. As long as I can go through right here and right there, and then have excess leaving from the back on the rear, that way I can hide it behind one of the pillars and one of the trims. That way, you know, I don't have to have anything bulky, not having to like stop using my sunroof or hiding it up front. What I'm hoping to do as well is Since these are so this box is a cigarette lighter adapter. What I'm hoping to do, take this all apart and then run a positive and then a ground or a negative, whatever. Add a resistor and then add a switch. That way I can extend this wire and run it all the way to my battery, and then probably put a fuse in. That way it's just like, if it blows out, it blows out, you know, whatever. Like it doesn't, I don't have to have this in my cigarette lighter. I don't even think my cigarette lighter even works, but we're gonna do that. But right now, let's get started on this and hopefully finish out with a good note. So I got some zip ties, some extra glue sticks, the glue gun, and right here I have a little tack. We're gonna start pinning holes, marking them. Or actually, we'll probably pinhole, do one, pinhole, do another one, and then keep going from there. So as you can see right here, we have our one fiber optic inside. So now we're gonna just hot glue that and then do 429 more. And I just kept these zip ties on, that way they're organized and I can pull one out at a time, poke a hole and then put it in, poke a hole and put it in. So it's gonna be a long night. Day 2. So it's the next morning. Everything's done. 430 strands done, finally. It was a pain. It's very tedious and it's very time consuming. I probably have about 6 hours into this thing in total, just with the fiber optics, or the fibers or whatever. But it wasn't too bad. I was starting off like doing like 23 in each row and then doing like probably about half an inch space between each. But when I was doing like my math and stuff, I was gonna get up to like about right here and run out of strands around there. So it wasn't really ideal. So I went to like probably like right here, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna space them out a little bit farther. That way, you know, it doesn't look like too clumped up. That was like my main goal, because I know like this headliner has this whole piece missing from the sunroof. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't, you know, have a shitload of lights back here and then like barely have any lights up here and have it look kind of off. So I kind of wanted to evenly space it out. So as you can see, here's the back. I zip tied for the most part most of them. That way they're not like everywhere and shit, especially like near the dome light, near the sunroof, near the control module for the sunroof as well. So I like zip tied them together. I was hoping that it would have been cleaner, but you know, I think it'll do for now at least, you know. But here's the front, here's the sides. The front I made sure to put some, because I know like it would be weird if like the whole back and like the whole sides had it, but like it didn't have any like right here and stuff. I just wanted to make it look like it flows. I didn't put any right here because the sunroof visors are right here, but it looks pretty dope. I tested it last night and it was pretty sick. I was just getting some scissors, not some scissors, but some pliers, and getting really close to the edge to cut these strands, and then should be good to go. So I'm about to use these. They're they have like a flat edge on the back, that way it's easy to cut the fibers off, but shouldn't be too long of a process, not 6 hours at least. But let's get this thing done and finished, that way it can go back in the car. product. So it's finally done after about 7 to 8 hours of labor, including like breaks here and there just to eat and stuff. And we're on the next day. Finished it up last night. Cut the fibers this morning. And then right now I was just going in and getting the fiber as close to the headliner as possible, because I want somebody, like if they're in my car and they want to touch it and stuff, they won't get like all prickly and stuff, because there's like, you want to get as close to the edge as possible. So now you can like rub it and there's no like, you're not like getting scratched by all the fibers that are still sticking out by like centimeters. So now it's nice and smooth and it's flush with the headliner. It was very tedious and very time consuming, but it's fairly easy. It's not too hard. It's just organizing and seeing where you can put your stuff at, how your headliner's set up. This is 430 fibers. I think it's plenty. I think it was perfect. I put my initials right there just because I had a couple extra and I was just like, I might just put my initials. But it came out fairly good for the most part. And then it has like the modes on this controller right here, so we can do white. Let's see, so that's white. And then you can adjust brightness, so like super bright, pretty dim. And then you got jump mode, it's where it jumps. Sounds pretty cool. So now that this is all finished, all the wires are very flush to the headliner. Everything works for the most part, and all the colors work. I'm really digging it. Very fun task and a very fun project to do, just a little bit time consuming, but overall not too bad. We're about 90% done. We just got to put it back in the car, wire up some things, and figure it out. So let's go do that and get this thing all finished up. So we're at the shop. I just finished putting everything in and it looks crazy. So we're gonna switch to the other side. Yeah, that shit look tight, fool. Yo, that looks wild, bro. Unfortunately, I can't use the controller because the battery died in it, so I have to put a new battery in it. But man, this thing came out better than I expected. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just like that little extra flair, and it's dope. All you gotta do is take your time, grab all the right tools. So like I said, I'll list all what I bought, and I averagely spent probably about $200 in total for all the necessities that I needed, which was paint for the headliner, hot glue gun, glue sticks, yeah, that wasn't even 200 bucks. That was probably like less than 200 bucks. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it to family and friends, subscribe because I got a couple more videos coming out. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can leave them down below. I'll be sure to get back to you guys as soon as I can. Oh my God. But I'll see you guys in the next one, bro. This is